One of the coolest things that anyone wants to do is how to make more money and impact while dominating the whole market. So content and money strategies or content or money secrets. In this one video, we are going to dive down into three different elements and 7 points over here that I have for you, where we are going to talk about how do you dominate the market that you're into. It's not about competition, as Grant Cardone says. I need to be changing the view for a second to a cycle here so that it doesn't bother me anymore. Yeah, so just on the face. So how do you dominate while being on the top, and how do you go on the top is with the work that you put in. We are going to discuss that in 7 different points. How do you make more money? Because when you're dominating on the top of it, definitely you need to be making lots of money. If you're not making lots of money, you are not into charitable foundations and non-profit. You are here to do a business, and when it comes to business part of it, it has to be always a win-win situation for all anyone and everyone that's communicating with you or interacting with you. It's just not that you make money out of it, but then whatever money you make, 10 times of it, value has to be keep going out so that people trust you and the credibility goes up there. So that's dominating part of it, making money part of it. The third part also I've kind of covered over here is like, how can you make more impact? Now, how do you do all these three things? How do you dominate, make more money and impact? We are going to talk about that in 7 different points over here. So it boils down to something called consistency. I was listening to this one of the podcasts which I was waiting for a very long time, say 2 to 3 weeks, where Alex Hormozi, one of my role models and a great mentor, what he's doing, and one of my different mentor over here who is Tom Bilyeu, Impact Theory. These two are kind of legends for me when it comes to role models and mentors in coaching. Though I haven't subscribed to their any paid of the programs, but then whatever value they're adding for free has immensely helped me grow myself, with which the business also grows. Personal life also grows on the other part of it. So one of the interviews that I launched, I'm going to give you the name of it so that you also watch it. Do you have what it takes to get rich in 3 years? So this is on the channel called Impact Theory. Definitely go ahead and watch. That's like 90 minutes. I just heard like 2 minutes of it. Immense value. Now, point number 1 is how do you dominate and how do you make more money is one of the coolest principles that we need to be knowing is how should I stay in my consumers, in my clients, in my audiences, in my members' mind all the time. Say you're watching a TV and there is a cement ad coming in. There is a chocolate ad coming in. There is tires, Seat tires, the tires ad coming in. When the ad comes into, whenever you're watching the TV, and such ads always comes, you are watching TV for like 30 minutes, you watch the ad for like 3 times. You're watching the TV for like 1 hour, you're watching this ad for like 6 times. They are not selling you anything, but then the whole point, what they're doing is trying to get inside your mind. So when you have construction in the home, when you have construction or renovation in your family or your mother's place or your father's place or your own place, wherever that is, or someone else is doing a construction, the first thing that comes to your mind is that one company where you have been watching the ad over and over. So that's the whole psychology of you dominating, making more money as well as making more impact. So no matter what happens in your industry, you should be able to be so consistent in what you're doing that you just outrun, outsmart, outwork, outlast everybody. Just one little thing that's called consistency. So in this one video, we are just going to talk about that part of it now. This is something that even Alex Hormozi said in the video that I was referring. With like 2 minutes, he said, how do you build the business to 6 figures? Right? They are talking about dollars, right? $6-figure. How do you build a business to 6 figures? His answer was like three simple ways. Like, first you work on advertisement part of it, you work on your products, and you work on your advertisements, you work on your product, you work on the creation of the product. These 3 pieces. And Tom Bilyeu asked, like, how do you get to 7 figures? That was an interesting question. He said nothing but just one word: do the same thing consistently. You're going to grow your business all the way to seven figures. Now, how do you? What I have for you is like first point is something that even when I'm coaching someone, one of the members that I've got, like a table member, I always say to her, like, how can you always create videos and start publishing on you're publishing on YouTube. You don't have audience on YouTube. Where you have audience is on your WhatsApp list, on your contact list over here, on WhatsApp list. So whenever you're creating a video, what you need to be doing is publishing the video, like sharing the link of that video on your WhatsApp, so that even though there are no views, no likes, no comments, no subscribers, but in your list of people, you are always consistent with your word. So whenever someone is going through stress or whenever someone is not able to figure out things, so where do they go? To the stress resilient coach. Because how do they know there is someone out there? Is because consistently you are publishing the content, even though they're not reaching out to you for like months or weeks. Just because you're doing it consistently, they know exactly whom to reach, how to reach, just because one little principle, that is consistent videos. Point number 2 is consistent webinars or consistent workshops. People may not like you, people may not know you, people may not resonate with you. I was doing one of the sales webinar like a month back, or almost a month back, say 20 days back, where I did a good session with zero returns, zero conversions. And what happened for the beautiful part of it, there were like 4 to 5 participants with zero conversions, where all of them, 4 of them stayed towards the end of the webinar, but the retention rate was great, like 85-95%, but then there was zero sale. Now what happened, the next day I got a call because I was in a public group. I was having all the cold audience in my WhatsApp group, which is my number is kind of gone public, where one of the members reached out to me on WhatsApp and asked, Fazil, can I speak to you? I spoke to her for like an hour, not an hour, 30 to 45 minutes, I think an hour. So when I was having this conversation, she said, Fazil, I did not align to how you were doing in your webinar because I was interacting with you for the first time. But when I spoke to you for the second time, now I know how you do things. Now I kind of understand why you do things. I kind of resonate with how you're doing things, and there is an alignment part of it. So point being, when you are consistently doing the webinar, say you're interacting with a cold audience over and over, they're not paying you money, but they are coming and joining a session, say 1 time, say 2 times, say 3 times. So when you're doing consistent webinars and workshops, be it free, be it paid, be it anyway, but then the more consistent you're doing, the more they are kind of resonating with your message. They're seeing why you're doing things. They're seeing the way consistent. See, it always boils down to consistent. If you're doing consistently something, it's like there's like a hands down, because consistency beats anything in the whole market. Like it just beats everyone in the whole market. So there's like one quote I heard from one of the members who was quoting, I think, Robin Sharma. I have no idea where this is coming from, but then she said, starting is easy, quitting is easy. Again, there's a huge context to this one. Starting is easy, quitting is easy. Staying in the game is a matter of mastering the art of consistency. I don't know where this comes from, but then one of the beautiful quotes that I've heard. So point number 3 is consistent advertisements. So I heard this again somewhere else. I don't know the rule of 6. The rule of 6. The rule of 6 is the rule of 7 is, you and I, we don't buy something unless, like, I'm a different case study altogether, where if I like something, I just go and buy. When it comes to investing, something is like I just go and buy. Like I'm an impulse buyer, more predominantly impulse buyer. But then I have to think a lot of times, because when you're broke, you don't get to pay a lot of things. You cannot buy anything. But then when there is money in my pocket, I just go and just like spend money out. Now, point being is, excluding me, we need to be advertised one single thing, say 7 times. We need to be marketed for 7 times. That's like human psychology. If you don't want to buy this thing, if you had no intention to buy this one thing that is going to change your life, but then if you see this advertisement, say 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, 6 times, 7 times, you go and buy this thing. So I wanted to buy a ring way back in January, and I just went, and then I got started retargeting. And I, though did not have that budget to buy that one specific ring, what started to happen is, like, the more I started to look at the ads, I watched the ad for like 7 days, approximately 5 to 7 days, and I got convinced, like, hey, dude, I'm going to buy this ring because I made an intention already. Why should I wait for another one who's retargeting me as like, boom, go buy? So it's like huge psychology. So you need to be consistently running advertisements so that people recognize you, what you're doing. Even they don't resonate with you on the first go, they are going to get resonated the more they look at you, because over a period of time, like, I'm doing this consistently comes into picture. So when you're doing something consistently, the credibility and trust factor goes up. Point number 4 is doing consistent meetups, doing consistent meetings. Like for me, it is always about interacting one-on-one or doing the group coaching part of it. The more consistent you are there, it becomes more on the lines of, say, even one-to-ones as well as on the part of the group coaching, where the more people look at you, hey, you are showing up on a daily basis, on a regular basis, on meetings, on time, even on I generally show like 2 minutes or 5 minutes or 10 minutes after time. That's just me. That's like I cannot be on time. Like I don't know. I need to be working on it. But then that's just me. You stay back. You stay like this. No distraction. Consistent meetings. Consistent with selling part of it. So again, it boils down to the more you sell something, initially you are going to struggle with selling part of it. You know why? Because we are never trained to ask money. We don't even ask money from our friends, or we don't even, it's awkward. It's weird. It's like, don't you have money to pay for me or my bills or my anything? It feels sad, or it's just awkward in a way. So that awkward is like multiplied like 100 different times, and you don't have that confidence, or you just don't want to feel loser in the room where you go and ask money. So that's like whole part of it, where though you have money, but then when you lend money out, you don't even feel like going and asking money. The whole entrepreneurship is all about cash flow. Cash flow is all about selling. Selling is all about asking. Asking is all about going out there and selling something. Like, this is what I've got. Only after transaction is where I can help you out. So the whole, it boils down to, the more you start practicing selling, I'm going to ask you this XYZ amount of money for this product. The more you do it, the more you're going to grow, and the more you're going to have that confidence in doing something. Cool, consistent selling. How do you dominate? How do you make more money? The only way you're going to make more money is the more you sell people out. Selling your products through webinars, through meetings, through one-to-ones, upgrading people, like upselling people, upselling to people, downselling to people, all those cool things. Now, point 5 and 6 and 7 are also same. Consistent results, consistent work. It's all about consistent for me. In this one is all about, it was just boiling down to one little thing, was consistent. So how do you get results consistent for yourself? Where you're selling a product, you get results. Where you're selling a service, you're getting results. So that stacks over stack. It just keeps on stacking. And it's just not about your results. If someone in your community who is consuming your courses, your product, your services, how are they going to get results? It's your responsibility. Towards the end of the day, they have trusted you and given you the money so that you can get them result. So it's not about just one person out there. How can you get him result or her result? How can you keep on their result? Okay, you got this now, you need to be doing this, you need to be doing this. So even they don't be stagnant, even you are not stagnant. So the more you put in work, the more they are going to grow. The more you're putting yourself into work, even you're growing. So the last point is consistent work. So even work, you don't feel like working, you show up. You don't feel like doing something, you show up. Even with you, it's like, I read this quote yesterday, which was one of the most beautiful quotes that I've heard, that I have ever come across. I read this before. It hit me hard. It hit me different and hard this time, where you are the product of what you did last year. You will be the product of what you are doing today, next year. Okay? So act wisely of what you have to do now. So it was like a ballpoint moment for me. You are a product of what you did last year. You will be the product of what you're going to do today, next year. So what you're doing, what you're supposed to be doing today, or what you're doing today, it determines where you're going to be next year. So that being said, with that wrap, with that one quote, thank you so much for making this video, me and the topic about of your day. May peace and blessings be upon you and your loved ones. The next video is going to be how recording daily will help me. It's a very tricky video. How recording daily will help me make 6 to 7 figures money and content strategy / money and content secrets for you. So thank you so much. I'm going to share 5 different points over there, which has helped me immensely and going to make me 6 to 7 figures tomorrow, maybe 8 figures tomorrow. As of now, that's the hope, the goal, the dream I've got, which I'm going to share it with you in that video. Thank you so much. I'm going to see you there. If you are still watching this and if you are kind of making mistakes when it comes to webinar selling or webinar script, I recorded a video specifically yesterday, where 6 mistakes I made in my sales webinar. So if you want to learn about that, you can type down that one video, that one keyword that I just said, 6 mistakes I made in my sales webinar in the channel. You will be able to find that one video. Thank you so much. I'm going to see you in either of the video.